In this video, I'm gonna talk to you about whether or not you should get a loan to start your business. I never did, and I still built a 9-figure business. So I'll be sharing with you my thought process and what I've told other entrepreneurs when I'm asked this question. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Spencer Jan. I'm the co-founder of Solo Stove, and for the past decade, I've been starting and growing e-commerce companies, one of which grew to an extremely profitable 9-figure business. If you're interested in starting and growing your own company, smash that subscribe button below so you don't miss my weekly videos. Let's get right into it. I've been asked by a number of people whether or not they should get a loan to start a business. The first thing that I tell people is that remember that a loan is an obligation to the bank. You now owe them money plus interest. And if you haven't even started making money, and that's a scary place to be in. Essentially, you're spending the future profits of your business before you even make them. And if you're starting a business to be free, whether it's financially free or free from a boss that you hate or a job that sucks, by taking out a loan, you are not free. Now you work for the bank and they couldn't care less about you. I'd also ask, what do you plan to do with that money? I've heard things like hire people, rent an office, buy inventory, use it for marketing. My next question would be, have you ever done any of these things in the past successfully? If the answer is no, then what makes you think since this is the first time you'll have ever tried to be successful at this, that you'll be able to turn a profit and be able to pay back your debt? The learning curve to start a business is steep. You're gonna screw things up a ton at the beginning, and I mean a lot. Think about babies learning to walk. They fall almost every step they take. Then a few weeks later, maybe they fall a couple every steps. Then a few weeks later, maybe every few steps they fall, but they fall a ton. And this is gonna be you. And when you accept the reality of fumbling your way through starting a company, the last thing you wanna do is make those mistakes more costly than they need to be. Meaning if you're gonna screw up your first order of products, you'll be glad you ordered $1,000 worth of products instead of $10,000 worth of product. Or spending money on paid ads. Learn your mistakes when you're spending hundreds of dollars, not tens of thousands of dollars. Or building a website. Learn to build it yourself. Or buy a cheap template for $100 instead of paying $20,000 to someone who custom builds something that doesn't end up working because you didn't even know what you needed when you started the project. I could go on and on. Just know you're gonna make mistakes, which is absolutely normal and expected. The path to success is paved with mistakes, but my point is to not make these mistakes be more expensive than they need to be. Money is great at solving money problems, like buying food or paying for a home to live in. But as an entrepreneur, starting a business, you most likely don't have money problems. You have problems with decision-making, execution, creativity, or the worst of all, problems stemming from a lack of effort. I hate to break it to you, but these problems aren't solved with money. I once had someone tell me they needed to hire someone to ship their orders. This was before they even got their first order. I told them they didn't, and they asked, well, who would ship the product to my customer then? My answer was, you dummy, you ship it. You use your hands to build a box, put the product in the box, use a tape gun to seal it, and you drive to the post office. Why do you need to hire someone to do that? Look, I get that starting a business is tough, and you feel like you have a lack of resources to get things accomplished, but I just don't buy that. There are plenty of ways to get things done without having to spend a lot of money. And if you don't think you can, you just need to think harder. When my brother and I started Solo Stove, we dug into our savings and both put in $7,500, a total of $15,000. We never borrowed a single penny after that. We wore every hat in the business and did the work ourselves. We dealt with customer service, we stacked boxes, and we were the marketing department, the finance department, the warehouse, and after a quick 10 years, we built a business into a very profitable 9-figure company. I would even say that its success was in part due to the fact that we grew it without loans, because when we spent money, it was our money, and we made darn sure that it didn't go to waste. We cared for every penny because we knew how hard it was to earn every penny. We were very cautious, so every financial decision we made had to come with a high probability of success. It's easy to spend somebody else's money, but when it's yours, it suddenly becomes a lot more difficult, and that's healthy. The principle of frugality and being a wise steward over funds is one that I think every good entrepreneur learns. This is the principle I want you to learn. So if you haven't guessed, my advice to you is no. Don't get a loan. Work harder and put forth more effort to get things accomplished with the money you already have. And if you don't think you can, you're not putting in enough effort. Think harder. You can do it. I'm living proof along with every other bootstrapping entrepreneur that started in their garage. If we can all do it, so can you. And I'm gonna do everything I can to help you along the way. If you haven't done it already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss my weekly videos where I share everything I know. Thanks for watching to the end, and I'll see you in the next video.